the worst point could be in a relationship, but just as in like when you're operating with someone, what's your cut-off game like?
Do you know what? I think I'm a bit of a I wouldn't say chameleon. That sounds bad. I'd say I'm very much. It depends on the person.
By the way, whatever I say is this.
That was a bit late, but disclaimers in there. Disclaimers. I think it depends on the person because I tend to vibe off of people. So if I find they might be a particular way, then I might go with what I think is appropriate for them. That makes sense. So I haven't got like one rule fits all. So, however, I'm a very, how can I put it? I'm a chilled person in it. I'd say I'm easy to get along with and whatever else. So I can vibe with a person, but then if I don't vibe with you, it's long. But if I find you've got certain traits, like if communication's a bit off, my cut-off point would just be like, shoo. You'll go from speaking to me to shh. As the days go by, you'll hear from me less and less to the point where I'm just like, yeah, I can't go bed. I'm just not even going to make no contact. Boom. Done.
Yeah.
I will just go ghost. And then, but then on another scale, I could just be like, yeah, do you know what? I'm not feeling this. It's long.
But will you tell them that?
Yeah.
So how do you say it?
Depends how they are. I've actually said to somebody before, do you know what, like, it's like bants is bants, innit? But you're rude, and it's long.
So is that what you said? Bants is bants, but
yeah,
you're rude.
But there's bants. There's a level in it, and I was just like, I think it's best that I just allow it. They were like, what? I literally did talk to them for a couple of months, and then I only spoke to them again because they hollered me, and I was just, and then as soon as they started talking shit again, and I was like, do you know what? This is why I stopped talking to you.
Yeah.
So it literally depends on the people. Well, what about you? Lord, yours is lethal, innit?
It's not good, man.
That face in it.
I mean, when I think about some of the shit that I've done, it's just like, how could you? Like, and don't get me wrong, it's like, it sounds bad, but no, it's bad. It's
Is it bad? You should change it bad, or is it just bad? Like, well, it is weird.
It's bad. I just feel like I just shouldn't speak to people. See what it is? You see what it is, yeah? Like, I don't know. Like, I think to put it into context, right? When I was younger, right? Like, you see, as you get, okay, so this is slightly going off, but I'm gonna bring it all around. So, you know how you're like mums of that age, and when they're of that age, everyone that they know starts dropping like flies.
Yeah.
It's a funeral every week.
Yep.
Like my mum's going to funerals if like it's
like
work.
It's fashion.
It's like it's work.
Yeah.
So it kept becoming such a thing where I was like, I literally practiced moving consciously like everyone was dead.
Wow.
Because you see what it is, like, the reality is, for me, out of sight, out of mind.
Okay.
So if you're out of mind, you might as well be dead, innit? So,
wow.
along with that way of thinking, I just stopped going out.
Okay.
Just to make it more real.
So
this is what I'm saying. Like, if I was doing that with intent, you can only imagine if I'm saying, all right, I'm going to cut someone off. So, see, for me, I literally, like, I consciously dead you in my head. So I'll do that first. I don't know where I get it from. Like, I don't even know what I watch. I don't know what I watch to kind of make me kind of feel like and think certain things. I do watch TV.
Nighttime, Channel 5 USA.
Nighttime, but not Channel 5 USA, because that's like, don't you remember? That's like Sunset Beach. You remember Sunset Beach? Like I remember Sunset Beach being on in the afternoon.
Beach, yeah, you're either hella old or your parents made you watch it.
No, maybe the old part. Maybe the old part.
Inside, you're old, babe.
But I'm an old soul, innit?
This is what I'm saying.
But at the same time, Sunset Beach was like definitely something out of the Caucasian man's mind. Like, how are you killing people in such a violent way? Daytime.
Daytime.
You know what I mean?
That was mad.
yeah, so obviously, if I was putting that into practice, you can only imagine what my cut-off game's like. So obviously, when I actually remember, like, people that I've just... it's so bad.
So would you walk past people?
Uh-huh.
Would you walk past them if you saw them? Oh, Lord, you've done that at best.
Why are you saying things like this? I won't lie, like, if I don't have to say hi, I'm not saying hi. Like, if I can like get around it, because it's like.
No, I'll be, in fairness though, I think most of us at some point in our lives have done that. Like, to at least one person in it. There's that, whether it be that one person that you think, oh, I don't really want to remember that anything happened, or do you know, when you're just not on that level with someone, you just think it's just so much easier if I don't see you.
I did blame it on this though, innit?
You did, but I mean, yeah. Bruv, I don't know if it's gonna work.
It don't matter. It happened, innit? It's happening on camera. But yeah, no, like, you see what it is? It's like, don't get me wrong, like, I know that that's about me.
Mm.
To be honest, I don't really understand it right now. If I could kind of like give something for clarity right now, it would be that I kind of try to make the process easier in regards to losing people.
That makes sense.
Do you get what I mean?
No, it don't sound so bad as well.
Yeah. But I kind of try to make the process a bit easier. Mm. Now, obviously, that's not to say that it will make it easier, because if it's that person that I've really got something for, then obviously it may be completely different. Yeah. Like, practice fails and then da-da-da-da-da. But I consciously try to put certain things into practice way before, just to kind of like... So
kind of like a prevention's better than cure kind of thing.
Prevention's better than cure, but obviously because I don't know how it's going to be when it is, I try to just ease myself in. So, slightly off topic, but in order to make sense of it, do you find, I know we touched on it in regards to death in a different episode, but do you find that you've got not issue per se, but do you think you struggle a little bit with ending things with people? And when I say obviously not, possibly, but but possibly, I'll be real. I know more so men than women, because again, that whole emotional, irrational versus rational thing. Women tend to be like, oh my gosh, I think it's a slight dependency with us, whether we realise it or not. Yeah. Our thing is, if you enjoy being around someone, you like them and whatever else, you start building up emotional ties. Whereas with women, I think we get to a point where it's either it has to be like blunt force trauma, or it just drags out, and then that's when we end up in them cyclonic relationships where it's just a back and forth. Yeah. Men, I find a lot of, I've spoken to a few guys who said that they struggle with endings, and whether that be, like bad endings to a relationship, or that you might enjoy being around someone but it may not be healthy or good for you. So it's how do you end it? I tell you what, that could be it. That could be a part of it. But I think if I'm actually thinking about it right now, right, like, my thing is, when I'm in a space with someone, I give a lot, right? But as I said, because I feel like, I don't feel like, I know that I've been kind of really invested in people. Fuck that. I've been invested in women actually. I've been invested in women, and because I've been so invested, I've kind of like gone on the ride.
Okay.
Without actually making it my ride.
Yeah.
So, because I've been so invested, and it's like, I feel like I've given it all to a certain extent. I feel like when it's time, it's time. And, there's certain things that need to be said, but isn't said. And there's certain things that don't need to be said.
And also sometimes.
Because, like, as much as you may think like you owe someone something, to me, it's like I've already put myself in a situation where I'm fully invested, and there's just certain things that I won't stand for.
Mm.
As a woman, like, or not even a woman, but as a woman, as a guy, like, there's certain things that you just won't stand for.
Yeah, because I think
when you cut something off, what is the way to cut off? There isn't a way. There's just many ways.
Yeah.
Right? You might have a way. I might think that your way ain't for me. It doesn't mean that your way ain't right.
Right, yeah.
It doesn't mean that my way's wrong. It just means that
it's just your way, innit?
How I handle it is how I handle it. How I choose to dish it out is on me. But I just feel like, yeah, my cut-off game's been pretty brutal still.
So
to the point where I've had to apologise.
Hey.
I've had to, like,
but do you know what,
later,
though? But that's
I've recognised
a good thing,
it,
though.
and I've come back and I've said, do you know what? I apologise. I don't get me wrong, like, even now, don't get me wrong, there's still, like, pending apologies that I have to somewhat rationalise still to even like be like, do you know what, you actually need that, or I actually need to give you that?
Let me pause you on that, because I need to tell the viewers this, yeah? This was not prompted, yeah? And by the sounds of it, your apologies weren't prompted by people, right? That's from your own rationale, your own thinking.
It's never about people, because look.
This is what I'm saying, that came from within you.
The reality is I cut them off. So if I cut you off, in my mind, it's worthy the cut off. Mm-hmm. So when I'm growing, I'm reflecting, and I'm like, you could have done that better.
So this is just to say, people, that I think is one of the most important things.
Even with my cut off game being so brutal, in my mind, this is how I know that I've never really been consciously operating with women in the past. I know I haven't been, because now it's like everything's so, like, clear. It's like I'm treading on thin ice, because I'm treating, like, do you know what? Whatever you say, right? It's like I value what I say and what I don't say, and I'm taking everything seriously now.
Okay,
because it's serious now. Like consciously, I'm thinking it's all serious, because I'm dealing with someone. I'm dealing with a human being. I'm dealing with a woman who's, and I'm consciously like, yo, that's someone's daughter.
Yeah.
And I don't want to add to
the cycle,
the pain that others have caused. So I can be that example of, oh yeah, he fucked me over too. But now I'm consciously doing that. Before this, I wasn't doing that.
They're gonna allow I'm starting to wonder from the office.
What of what? No, I think you are.
What you were saying about your tolerance, like there's certain things you won't put up with. And I think for me, before growing up, I was the person that would put up with everything or tolerate things that I didn't really want to, but I wanted the peace. I didn't want that person to be unhappy, or I don't want everyone else. Do you know what I mean? So at times in my head, I'm like, no, F this, don't want to do it. But then it's like, if I don't know that, that's going to turn into an argument. If that turns into an argument, it's still going to be me that's upset in the end as well. It's long. So rather than getting into that, I will pacify them, but it's still me suffering because I'm pacifying them, but I'm not pacifying myself.
Yeah.
Now I'm just like, do you know what? I ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
But I put it in a way that my thing is communication, innit? So you see, when, as you said, when I'm talking to people, if I can't communicate with you on a certain level, it's long. That is where my cutoff comes in now. And it's just like, do you know what? I'll be honest, the whole thing of not talking to people, that's where I'd say I'm lethal. I'm not lethal.
What do you mean?
Because I will just, if someone says something and I've said, do you know what? You've gone too far, or I don't like this, or you might get another opportunity. I am that girl that will be talking to you. You say something dumb on the phone, I'll say, I'm going, boop, cut off the call. You'll call me back, I won't answer.